Do you want to know how to be comfortable in the economy on a long haul flight? Well, that's impossible.
If you're cheap asses like us, here are a few items that will make your long haul flight in the back of the plane a little bit more bearable.
One thing that we really like to bring on long haul flights is the Colgate Wisps. So basically, they're just little toothbrushes. They're easy to carry on. You don't have to worry about bringing toothpaste. They have a little toothpaste on the tip of the toothbrush, and you just bite it and you just brush your teeth. This is something that I think makes long haul flights a little bit more cleaner and comfortable, because usually your teeth feel nasty, your breath is stinky. This is a really good thing to have when you're on a long haul flight.
My biggest thing on flights is, besides my main bag I'm taking, I don't like to take a lot of stuff on the plane. I want everything to be small. And so taking these on the plane versus having my actual toothbrush and toothpaste, this is just so much smaller. I don't have to take all my toiletries out of my bag. I just take this and then I'll actually brush my teeth later. This is a pretty obvious one, but another thing that we bring is noise canceling headphones. Depending on the trip, we bring either our over-the-head headphones or our earbuds, but either way, you should have some noise canceling headphones. It's nice for trying to sleep or just blocking out noise on the plane. We have Sony over-the-ear headphones. These are older version, but these are the kind that we have. The downside for me with the big over-the-head earphones is they do take up a lot of space. So if you're trying to pack in like a one bag situation, I think that these take up almost too much space. The other thing you want to make sure of is that your headphones come with a way to connect to the entertainment system on the plane. So luckily these ones come, even though they're wireless headphones, they come with a way to connect to the plane.
And following the headphones, we have the Airfly, which I think is pretty common for people taking long haul flights. But it's basically a Bluetooth, and it plugs into the media center on the airplane, and you're able to use your Bluetooth headphones. Like for instance, our Sony headphones, we can connect to it via Bluetooth, which is super nice. And also obviously the Apple AirPods, that's a good way to connect the airplane infotainment center. This is probably controversial. I know Holly doesn't like me bringing this, but anyways, I always bring my blanket. It's a little travel blanket. I'm pretty sure I got it on Amazon. It's pretty small, and it always makes me feel a little bit more comfortable on the airplane, because I feel like their blankets are usually kind of scratchy. It feels kind of gross to me, so I always like bringing my travel blanket, and I think it reminds me of home when I'm in a hotel. If we're packing super, super tight and we don't have a whole lot of room, I will forego this blanket. But if I do have room, I always like bringing my travel blanket with me.
I will say about the blanket that I do think it's a waste of space. I think that instead of that, what I would prefer to bring is what Kylie is also bringing, is a hoodie. Because hoodies, so I have one too, and I have a lightweight like merino wool hoodie, and Kylie has a large cotton hoodie. At least a hoodie you can use on the rest of the trip. A lot of times planes get cold, so it's nice to have a hoodie that you can throw on. So I just think that it's a little bit better idea to have a hoodie on a trip versus a blanket, where it's probably just gonna be in the bottom of your bag the rest of the trip unless you're sleeping with it.
Which I do.
Every night.
I do.
On to another piece of clothing that I like to bring. I recommend bringing pants that have lots of pockets. These are 686 pants. These are the cargo pants. And while they may not be the prettiest pants you've ever seen, you may not be looking the most stylish on the plane, you're gonna have tons of extra pockets. I just think having pockets like this, instead of just having pants with hardly any pockets at all, you can carry a lot more stuff on you without having your bags filled up. Having pants that are actually useful on the plane have changed the way I travel for sure. The other nice thing about pants like this with a drawstring instead of a belt, first of all, you don't have to worry about your belt insecurity, but also wearing a belt on a plane, you're either gonna wanna take it off, especially on a long haul. So just having a drawstring and not having to have a belt on a plane is also another game changer.
Next thing we want to talk about is our sling bags. As most of you know, this is the coveted Lululemon bag, and it's very popular for very good reason. It's a good size. I can't remember what the liter is on this one, but I will link it in the description. And this is good to have because you can put your wallet in there. I like to put my passport in there as well, so easy access. And usually I will put my AirPods in here as well. And my Kindle fits too. So this is something I really like having on me, and it just makes it easier for access to basically everything you need on a long haul flight.
I also take a sling bag on the plane. Our last trip, we only took one bag with us for all of our clothes, and then we had our sling bags. So my sling bag carries all my little items that I show here. These are just super useful because you can wear them basically the whole flight if you find one that you think is comfortable enough.
So this is a passport holder, and it also is RFID safe. I like putting my credit cards in here as well, any cash, and obviously the passport. What's really nice about this is the Lewis and Clark one. I think they're pretty popular. Anyways, we'll link it. It's super nice. You can put it on your belt loops, or you can just tie it to your pants. But this is something that we always take with us on long haul flights, or just really any travel we do. We like using these.
So the Kindle and the Game Boy, these are both things that just keeps us entertained. I personally like to have something in my hands. I always am listening to music, but whether I'm reading or playing on the Game Boy, I like to have music playing, which is kind of weird, I guess. But I like to have something in my hands. And so bringing a Kindle or this Game Boy, it just keeps us busy while we're on the flight. Next up is our chargers. For our trips, I only bring one charging block, and this specific one has 2 USB-Cs and 1 USB-A, and this is a 120 watt charger. Then I bring my bundle of cords, so I have my USB-C charger and my phone charger. I just bring one, and then the adapters that we need for the trip. I can use this on the plane, but then I also bring a backup MagSafe charger for our phone. So if for some reason our seat doesn't have a plug or it's not working, we always have a backup phone charger just in case we get in a situation where we can't charge our phones. So a super underrated item to bring on a long haul flight, especially if you're going international, which you probably are, is a pen. Usually there's some sort of document that you're gonna have to fill out on the plane. Typically, you're gonna have to do that with a pen. And you don't wanna be one of those people that's asking everyone for a pen. So make sure you bring your own.
We've had a lot of times where we seriously needed a pen so bad. When we got to Australia, there were not pens anywhere, like anywhere at all, even in like customs. There weren't pens anywhere. And I had to go ask an officer if I could use her pen. And she said, bring it back like a boomerang or something. Anyways, another thing that for me is important to have on long haul flights are slip-on shoes. So these are the Birkenstock Bostons, which are great. They're probably my favorite slip-on shoe. However, they always make the detector go off. That's one thing that is not fun about them. Yes, I do like to take off my shoes when I'm on a long haul flight. I don't wanna wear shoes for like 13 hours. So I highly recommend bringing slip-ons. So if you need to go to the bathroom, you can slip them on, go to the bathroom, come back to your seat and slip them off.
And I always wear my Tevas with socks if we're gonna be flying for more than 7 hours. Yeah, I can take them off, but they're also secure on my feet. And these are the types of Tevas that have decent tread and arch. So if we end up having to get off the plane and then travel a good amount of time, I still have decent shoes on. This is my go-to option, even though I probably look like a fool. One little thing that I always bring is this little pop socket stand for my phone, because if I don't like any of the movies that are on the plane, I make sure I download my own, and I use this little pop socket stand to use my phone to watch movies. I always bring a travel hat that folds down. This type of hat versus other hats, you can chuck it in your bag and it doesn't get all messed up. Well, it doesn't get as messed up. It's a little bit messed up, but I always think it's good to have a hat because you always roll off a plane after, 7+ hours looking messed up, but you can always just throw a hat on and not look so bad. The last thing that we're gonna talk about are travel pillows. We don't always bring these because we don't have the best luck on actually sleeping with travel pillows. I personally think it's hard to use them because if you use over-the-head earphones, you can't really use your pillow, so then you end up having to bring earbuds. The benefit to these kind of pillows, it does have a strap so that you can hook it to your seat, which I think is a necessity because as you fall asleep, you're always gonna do the head rocking thing.
The head bob.
Your head is always gonna fall forward. So this kind of helps with that, gonna hold your head up. But the problem is when you actually fall asleep, your head is still gonna fall down. It also has like a little strap here that will show you that like keeps your head in. But the problem is even though the pillow is strapped to the seat, as soon as you fall asleep, it's just like your head is like strapped and like your head's just hanging there. So yeah, you're kind of like held up, but it's just messed up. For me, it's just too much space for not really helping me sleep. So that's just my opinion on pillows. I'd rather just suffer than have an extra item and still suffer.
If you guys have any good recommendations of a travel pillow that maybe you like, let us know, because I would be interested in trying it. It would be super nice if we could actually sleep on a plane, so maybe we're not super jet lagged when we get to wherever we're going. But for now, usually we just forego the travel pillow anytime we're traveling.
That sums up all the items that we bring on our long haul flights. Let us know if there's anything that we're missing that we should be taking on our long haul flights, because we are definitely open to recommendations to make those flights just a little bit better.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.